So the Bears have a trouble spot, and he just got exactly what he needs. And I'm going to get right to it. We're going to talk about Tyreek Stevenson. After so much promise, he was one of the biggest trouble spots on this team last year. And the hiring of Dennis Allen, it's giving him a lifeline for more than one reason. You guys stay here. We're going to talk about it. Before that, hey, let's have some fun in the comments. Let me know your favorite Chicago Bears running back in the history of the franchise. No fair doing Walter Payton. Let's be a little more creative than that. Put it in the comments. We'll chop it up. Would love to see who you come up with. So let's talk about the hiring of Dennis Allen, how that's going to give Tyreek Stevenson a lifeline. For one, you can hear it here. I think Tyreek Stevenson is going to be the most improved player on this team in 2025. In fact, I think we might be looking at a number 2, a second lockdown corner on this team. And the reason why is the scheme that Dennis Allen runs. So much different than the Flus defensive scheme because of the way defensive backs are deployed on the field. Flus, he runs a Tampa 2 variation, primarily a zone system. And I don't want to take away anything from the player, his performance. Tyreek did regress a bit last season. But we also saw an increasing amount of busted coverages. And what Allen's going to do, he's going to employ a system that allows Stevenson to play to his natural ability. Stevenson's a player who absolutely thrives playing a press man style, not zone looks. And that's exactly what he's about to experience in the Allen scheme. It also filters in the strength of the rest of our secondary as well. I mean, Kyler Gordon, Jalen Johnson, fantastic man-to-man corners as well, and they're going to thrive in this system too. I want to go back to his draft profile here, and it never ceases to amaze me how teams can draft players like Tyreek Stevenson and just use them completely wrong, put them in situations that they're not playing to their strengths. I think this really was a big reason behind Tyreek Stevenson's regression last year. So let's kind of read straight from the draft profile. Stevenson plays an aggressive and physical brand of football. He found the most success in press man coverage. That's where he did an excellent job of moving your receiver off his intended route and disrupting the timing between that player and his quarterback. He also brought power with his hips when he made a tackle. Not many corners have the sheer strength that Stevenson has consistently shown. And additionally, Stevenson often displayed the ability to stay in the receiver's back pocket through the route. When he was beaten by a receiver, Stevenson also showed strong recovery speed. Considering Stevenson's overall physical skill set, absolutely no question he possesses a great combination of height, length, weight, and speed to play corner at the NFL level. And you guys, we're talking about that closing speed, especially if he's beaten. This guy has a 4.45 40 time, just excels in press man. Let's use him correctly. And Stevenson, he was listed specifically as a player as well that attracted new defensive coordinator Dennis Allen to this job in Chicago. He loves the size. He loves the reach. And at 6'4", 204 pounds, this guy absolutely loves to hit. And Allen's DBs have always been very physical, either at safety or corner. Stevenson's tackling ability, that's been the biggest praise by Bears assistants. And, that's despite the mental gaffes he's had at times. We got another player on the team, Terrell Smith. He also fits the same mold of bigger defensive backs with exceptional tackle ability that Allen prizes in his secondaries. This team is just set up really nicely out of the box to run his scheme well, and that's without a total retool, which sometimes happens with a new defensive coordinator. Not necessary in this case. The Dennis Allen still runs the same 4-3 base, just a different variation on the coverages and a little more aggression. So let's talk about the mental mistakes, right? A couple positives here. Tyreek Stevenson really balled out in the last 4 games. He seemed way more engaged, way more focused. But beyond that, and I've covered this, new secondary coach Al Harris, he immediately identified the uneven performance and all the nonsense by Tyreek Stevenson as his biggest problem at the outset to solve. Not a bad thing, though. He's not picking on him. It just signaled that he sees big-time promise in him. He's going to demand the best. And he was immediately ready to invest in Tyreek immediately after taking the job. We're talking 24 hours after taking the job. Talking Al Harris knows his stuff, and it's not just all pro playing career stuff. This is the guy that, as a coach, he developed Devon Diggs, Deron Bland into all pros during his time with the Cowboys. Just a reputation as a coach. He's a guy that hammers details, demands performances. So you're looking at blown coverages, lack of focus. Stevenson just needs a little bit of help. Pairs so well with the scheme change doing this at the same time. And it's also a new focus on the team in general. We've talked about emphasizing the mental aspects of the game in this new Chicago Bears staff. We've employed a retired U.S. Army colonel and Andy Reese as a new position, the team's mental performance and leadership coordinator. And Stevenson was immediately, with all this tutelage, he was immediately sent to a developmental camp, once again, in the first 24 hours of Al Harris's employment. And this is straight from the announcement from the owner of the camp. We are pleased to confirm the enrollment of Tyreek Stevenson in Pete Houlihan's performance training camp. His participation comes highly recommended by Al Harris. He's identified Stevenson as an NFL cornerback, with the potential to develop into an elite ball hawk. And it's going to focus on enhancing Stevenson's ball hawking skills, defensive awareness, and also really prepping him for the next level of competition. And we look forward to seeing his growth and success in this program. I mean, I'm all for all of this. A player struggling, give him all he needs to succeed. And Dennis Allen coaches tough as well. Tyreek still has an opportunity to be a big part of this defense, and I think he's going to be the most improved player on this defense. Let's kind of look at this. We've heard this before. He entered the 2024 season, right? Viewed as maybe one of the biggest breakout candidates on the team. That's after showing so much promise during his rookie season. Completely false. Stevenson struggled a lot, and it was highlighted by the infamous Hail Mary pass against the Commanders, but it was more than that. Play wasn't great outside of that. Allowed an 83.2 passer rating when targeted, 146 in the league. I couldn't believe that until I looked it up. And that's among all the qualifying quarterbacks per PFF. Picked on pretty often. I mean, a lot of that's due to teams staying away from Jalen Johnson on the other side as well, but still not great. He was also in a good handful of scuffles, right, with other receivers. You remember the little scuffle on the sidelines with, who was that? With Williamson, right? Yeah, Jameson Williams on the sideline during that Thanksgiving game. Just stuff that can't happen. And a cornerback needs to play confident and aggressive to be at his best, but there's got to be a line between this and being immature and costing your team. And I think Stevenson is getting every opportunity to learn where that line is. All these actions are good things. And if it doesn't work out, we've got talent waiting in the wings. We've got Terrell Smith, already been platooning with him in the past, and I wouldn't really hate having him just take over the role if it's needed. I don't want it to happen, but he's just been great. And Terrell Smith is doing it as a 5th-round pick in the same draft as Stevenson. He's shown glimpses when given the opportunity. And there's also been an argument, especially last year, that Smith has just played better than Stevenson. That might really be true, but I want to give Tyreek Stevenson every opportunity to live up to his draft stock, really blossom into the player that we thought that we were getting with the 2nd-round pick. And he's going to be, I think he's just going to be a stud this year. But a clear message has been sent. Look, we're playing the scheme that you thrive in. We're singling you out, though. The tools are being provided to help you succeed. The coaches are all for you. I just really like these moves. It also makes me a bigger fan of Al Harris as a head coach. And also, I think this combined with a much-needed, more aggressive scheme change, Tyreek Stevenson is going to be set up for big-time success this year. You guys let me know what you think. I think Tyreek Stevenson can definitely be a successful reclamation project from the Houlihan boot camp to this scheme change that I think is going to benefit our whole secondary. Man, I think good things are ahead. You guys enjoy your Sunday. Bear down, and we'll talk soon. See ya.